mentoring and the learning environment. I love acronyms. And there was an article published in a journal in England. And it was something like, the title was something like, When a Smile Doesn't Make You Happy, or something like that. Because we found for the high school boys, they got worse. Specifically, they were more disconnected from teachers after we gave them a random sort of mentor plopped into their lives. And I was really struck by that. I was concerned by that. It remains the only study to date that look at this. We have lots of studies that have come out recently, but they're mostly elementary and middle school kids. So we don't know. And we assume a mentor will help anybody. But I was trained in developmental psychology. I know the sort of ways that kids change as you do. It become much more self-conscious, much more aware of how peers view them as they get older. And I think plopping a mentor into the cafeteria of a high school kid is not the same thing as plopping him in the cafeteria of a elementary school kid, especially if that kid is already known to be, troubled, problemed, in need of support, right? So we found that out, and luckily, around the world, programs have changed, and they no longer provide mentors to high school boys in this way. Not. Programs still do it. And I'm hoping that at some point they'll do it less or they'll do it more effectively. The second thing that we learned from the study, I think, is what I'm going to talk about today, and I think it will help us make sense of how could we do it differently. I'm going to talk about the findings kind of more broadly. In fact, I won't even come back to this study again. But what you're going to see, there's one time I'll come back to it. What you're going to see is the importance of really thinking about the interactions that occur between the mentor and the mentee, understanding them, and training the mentors. We've learned a few key lessons about what are really important interactions, and we need to train mentors, natural and program-based, to use these and to think about these when making decisions about what they're going to do. To ground this presentation, we have selected 4 of your submissions, and so I'm going to read them, even though we may not come back and talk about each specific one of them until the end of the talk, but we may. If at some point you feel overwhelmed by the desire to stand up and start talking about this case relevant to what we're talking about, more power to you, sister or brother, okay? So let me read the first vignette. Little Johnny and mentor Adam. Johnny's father has been very inconsistent in his life, and previously Johnny had not had much contact with his father. Johnny's father is now back in his life as his mother has fallen ill and is currently in the hospital. So Johnny's dad is now back in his life, pretty much. Johnny's living with his father, but he has the mentor Adam. And Adam now feels that he's not needed as a mentor, now that Johnny has a male role model in his life. The dad is inconsistent, especially in encouraging positive choices with Johnny, and is often not a positive role model for Johnny. So, how do we help Adam? That's our first one. Who brought that to our attention? I think it was this table? No. Who brought that to our attention? Okay. What size shirt would you like? Large, extra large? No offense, that's all we have. That's the only sizes we have. Sorry, I should have prefaced that.
Extra large.
So I'm not kidding. I can't go forward until you tell me what size you'd like. Because you are the proud recipient of a Alberta Mentor Partnership superhero shirt. Okay. I'll let them figure out who this shirt will be for. The next situation happens to do with a high school mentor. Cool. A high school student, female, is in the CTS high mentorship course? High school? Okay, that's a different course, right? The high mentorship course? Has currently a very challenging mentee. The 6th grade boy was struggling academically and was very fascinated with violence, guns, war, swastikas, etc. The high school student, the mentor, the female, who is a female, had a difficult time finding anything of interest to the boy and to use as the basis to sort of strengthen their relationship. He reluctantly did the reading and journal work that the teacher requested, but found everything else suggested for activities to be boring. They have a difficult time connecting in a relationship or on a task. Another good one. Who's that? Who gave us that? Would it be funny if everybody put their hands up? Okay. What size shirt would you like for someone who's a large or an extra large in your life? All right, and another one. And this is an interesting one, and I think it speaks to natural mentoring. So here we're talking about, I think, a teacher working with a youth. A boy who I've been paired up with as a mentee is reluctant to share any personal information about himself. I've made some small connections, but am finding it difficult to get to the point where he feels comfortable with me. The mentoring program is done at school where staff and students are paired up. The student has not been made aware of this partnership. And I think what follows is your commentary. Is that right? No? You sure? Okay. The handwriting changes in the middle of the page. It says, are you sure, Tracy? Did y'all make a comment on here? Did you write on this? Wow, that's... It's an effort to intentionally connect with kids identified as at risk. Oh, this is describing the program. I thought it was something you wrote, so I didn't actually read it. Sorry. So it's an effort to intentionally connect with kids identified as at risk who need another significant adult in their life. Knowing that building a relationship is the start of a strong mentorship, the struggle is getting the student to be open to the starting of that relationship. I think this person just wanted another shirt, but it is a nice elaboration of the prior point. So who are the two people who contributed this to us, and what size shirts do the people in your life who are large or extra large prefer? Large? Extra large. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll come back to that one as well. And the last situation is with Katie.
They wrote that in 5 minutes?
Apparently. Unless they brought it in ahead of time knowing they were going to get a shirt. Katie is matched to her little sister, Jenny, age 10, in a community-based match. Jenny lives with her father and older sister and was referred to the Big Brother, Big Sister program because of low self-confidence, her difficulty with social interactions, and the need for a positive female role model. It's also very well written. I like these. Down in Texas, when I get these, I have to sort of fill in the blanks. That was a joke. When Katie and Jenny meet up with Katie, when they meet up, Katie finds it challenging to engage Jenny in meaningful activities, underscore, italicized by me, meaningful activities, because Jenny doesn't seem to engage in the activities. Jenny is unresponsive to the activities that they do. No feedback, seems unmotivated. She doesn't seem to be able to identify activities she wants to do. The volunteer feels she isn't making a difference and doubts she is the right mentor. It's actually written clearly. It's not you, it's me. And she doubts that she's the right mentor for the child. Jenny has a hard time sharing information about herself. They have been matched for 4 months, and Katie wants to end the match. Jenny has told her dad and the caseworker that she likes the big sister, but this doesn't have any impact on the volunteer, Katie. The only thing I'm going to say about this match, other than who wrote it? Who wrote it? Oh, nice. Oh, do you see that? Do you see that? Shirts all around. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, that whole table gets shirts, but they're all extra large. It's nice that I read this one last. I planned this because the phrase meaningful activities is something I want us to unpack. I think there's a lot of assumptions in what is a meaningful activity. And this mentor's already been told that the little thinks she's making a difference, but she doesn't believe it. She's overcome by this sense that the youth won't engage in meaningful activities, and that's what we're going to shift to and discuss as we go into this talk right now. Any comments before I go forward? They really do get shirts. You're kidding me. They already have shirts? Wow. Oh, okay. I'm going to let you guys settle this outside. Can I have the strongest representative from this table meet with the strongest representative of that table? Okay. Woo. Oh, tough crowd. Okay. What I want to talk to you today a little bit is about another acronym, the TEAM acronym. TEAM stands for the Theoretically Evolving Activities and Mentoring Framework. Whew. We call it that because we developed this framework, my mentor and I, for this special issue. And we worked with the folks who wrote their issues. They took the framework and applied it. And as they applied it, they said, this part doesn't work, or this part does, or you should change this, or rename that. So since everybody had a role in it, we called it the Theoretically Evolving. And it continues to theoretically evolve. In fact, if you give me, right there, if you have ideas for changes of names, whatever, share them with us as a group or email me, and I'd love to accommodate whatever your needs are. Yes, young lady. You forgot.
Oh, do you have a paper? Yes.
Do I have a handout? Yeah, there's handouts from, there's two things. I was told that we should touch on this. This is actually the framework elaborated, but there's also a handout that looks like, oh, it's attached to the agenda. Thank you. Great. Thank you for asking. No, thank you for asking. Okay, awesome. So what this special issue tried to do was pull together different theories to explain, to the best of our knowledge, what we know about mentoring interactions and how they're useful and when they work and for whom, as a starting spot. Now, what spurred this on, initially, my mentor, Mike Nuckla, and I say Mike Nuckla, I just love this guy, and I think he's the best example I know of the kind of mentor Wayne would like everyone to be. He's a really strengths-based mentor. And when I went to grad school, he was a doctoral student when I was a master's student, and then when I was a doctoral student, he was an assistant professor, and he's really been the person who moved me away from devoting my life to caring for children directly to caring for children indirectly through my research. There are probably children out there who should thank him. I know somebody was going to make a joke about my kids, but you don't know my kids, so that wouldn't have been nice. So part of what really propelled this is, in a minute, I'm going to talk to you about a term called developmental style of mentoring. It's really the hallmark style or approach that's been taken by Big Brother, Big Sister, I think internationally, because it's based on research on the Big Brother, Big Sister program. But it was limited in some ways. It is limited in some ways. And I wanted to help provide some clarity in the field around these definitions. And in doing that, we had to think about, well, what are these terms about? And we're going to describe that and touch on that today.